For many years, Black entrepreneurs were told there was no money in telling their own stories. But today, some of the biggest Black empires are worth hundreds of millions and even billions of dollars. They own networks, control audiences, shape culture, and influence entertainment down to politics. But here's the part most people never see. Most of the money isn't coming from content itself. Behind these media brands are powerful business machines that generate revenue in ways most people never think about. So how do these media giants actually make their money? Let's find out. Number 1. Allen Media Group. Let's get started with one of the modern Black media giants, one whose name quietly rules the Black media empire circle, the Allen Media Group. This isn't just a media company, it's a complete empire that is built on a strategy most people would never associate with the media. While many creators are bent on going viral, Byron Allen, the founder of the group, focused on something far more powerful. He prioritized the ownership of distribution, which means owning the channels where content actually lived. And today, Allen Media Group controls a wide range of television networks, digital platforms, and a collection of content that reaches millions of people every day. One of its most potent strategies is the purchase of the Weather Channel, a move that surprised the whole industry not just because of its size, but because of its business orientation. Weather content is one that is always needed and highly attractive to advertisers. This helps to generate steady revenue flow every single day for the company. But the real drive behind Allen Media Group's wealth isn't just content creation. It's advertising and carriage fees. Every time a network is carried by a cable provider, a fee is paid. Multiply that by hundreds of viewers, and that's when you'll begin to understand how the money doubles quality but massively in the background. Then there's also advertising, which is arguably the biggest revenue generator in the media world. Different brands pay higher rates to get across to Allen Media Group's audiences, most especially because of its targeted reach across different areas. Unlike the regular Hollywood studios that depend on box office hits or streaming numbers, this model is built to last. It's not just about a one-time success, it's about constant and recurring streams of income. Another key part of the puzzle is alliance. The Allen Media shares television content across several networks. This means that a single show can generate revenue from multiple stores at the same time, which doubles profitability without necessarily doubling the cost of production. What makes this empire more interesting is how they make their purchase. Instead of building everything from scratch, Byron Allen most of the time buys very cheap or underperforming assets and transforms them into income-generating machines. It's not just a long-term play, but one that doesn't focus on hype and more on control, structure, and negotiation power inside the media community. So while most viewers see television shows, weather forecasts, or content, what's really operating in the background is a highly calculated business designed to bring value from every angle, which is ads distribution, licensing, and ownership. And this is only one empire because once you understand how Allen Media Group makes its money, you'll start to realize something bigger in media. Content might grab attention, but ownership is what brings money. Number 2. Urban One. Next is another major force in Black media ownership. Urban One. This is a company that has quietly built one of the most powerful Black-owned media connections in the United States while deeply rooted in culture-driven content and community audiences. Founded by Cathy Hughes, Urban One started as a single radio station and gradually evolved into a more than one media empire stretching across radio, television, digital media, and live events. What makes its story notable is that it was not built through large outside funding or Hollywood support, but through steady expansion and market by market until it became the largest Black-owned media company in the country. At the center of Urban One's business is radio broadcasting. Despite the rise of live streaming, radio remains a highly stable income-generating source because of its consistent daily audience. Urban One operates numerous radio stations across major U.S. cities. It targets people who live in cities with music, talk shows, and culturally relevant programs. The main income stream here is advertising, where brands get to pay to reach loyal and targeted audiences. This consistency makes radio one of the company's most reliable sources of income. Beyond radio, Urban One benefits from collaborations, where popular programs are broadcast across multiple stations and marketplaces. This allows a single show to generate revenue in different regions at once, thereby increasing income without a notable rise in the cost of production. The company also extended its operations into television through TV1, a cable network focused on Black entertainment, storytelling, and lifestyle programming. Like most cable networks, TV1 makes its money through advertising and carriage fees payments made by cable providers to include the channel in their packages. These together create a steady financial foundation. Another area where Urban One benefits from is its strong focus on niche audience ownership. Instead of competing broadly with major mainstream networks, it focuses on serving a particular area with high cultural importance. This targeted approach makes its audience especially valuable to advertisers who are willing to pay more for targeted reach. In addition, Urban One moved into digital media and expanded its presence through online streaming, news platforms, and social media engagement. These digital channels bring about additional revenue through ads and branded partnerships, while also extending the company's reach beyond traditional broadcasting. Live events coverage also contributes to its community. Through cultural programs and entertainment-driven gatherings like the Urban One Honors, the company makes money from sponsorships and partnerships while increasing the identity strength of its brand. Altogether, Urban One stands tall as a media empire built on consistency, cultural relevance, and multi-platform expansion. Its strength lies not in quick fixes here and there, but in steady growth and deep audience trust across multiple media channels. Number 3. BET Networks. When we talk about mainstream influences in Black entertainment media, only a few names can match BET Networks' standard. While they started as a bold vision to center Black voices on television, they've grown into one of the most culturally influential media brands in modern entertainment history. BET, Black Entertainment Television, was founded by Robert Johnson with a clear mission, and that is to create a dedicated space for telling Black stories, music, and culture at a time when there were extreme limitations in representing Blacks in mainstream media. Over the years, it transitioned from a niche cable channel into a full-scale entertainment network with global reach, helping to shape trends in music, television, and Black pop culture. BET's business model is basically built on two key income pillars: advertising and carriage fees. Like most cable networks around, BET makes money whenever cable and satellite providers pay to include its channel in their packages. This helps to create a stable, recurring income stream that is largely independent of individual show performance. In addition to that, advertisers pay higher rates to reach BET's highly engaged audience, especially during flagship programming blocks and major televised events. One of BET's biggest financial and cultural engines is its award shows and live events, especially the BET Awards. These events aren't just entertainment, they are massive commercial products, which covers sponsorship deals, brand integrations, broadcast rights, and advertising. These shows help to generate significant revenue in a short period of time. For brands, these events offer direct access to highly concentrated and engaged areas, making ad placements extremely valuable. Another way of earning for BET is through content licensing and collaborations. Its original shows and programming are shared across different platforms. This extends their years and profitability beyond initial airing. It also helps the company to monetize content multiple times across different markets and formats. Over time, BET grew beyond just staying on local television into digital platforms, streaming content, and social media-driven engagement. This shift allowed the brand to remain relevant with upcoming audiences while opening new streams of income through digital advertising, partnerships, and branded content. In today's media environment, attention is shared across platforms, and BET's presence across TV and digital platforms ensures it continues to center on value wherever its audience is active. Another major aspect of BET's success is its ability to position itself culturally. The network is not just operating as a media company, it functions as a cultural institution. This gives it a unique advantage in attracting both audiences and advertisers. Because brands are not just buying airtime, they are buying association with culture, influence, and identity. That cultural value greatly increases the pricing power of its advertising inventory. BET also enjoys its fusion into larger corporate structures, which allows it to leverage on resources, distribution power, and global reach. This scale helps it compete with larger and bigger entertainment networks while maintaining its cultural niche. Ultimately, BET Networks demonstrates how cultural relevance can be changed into long-term commercial value. By putting together television broadcasting, live events, digital expansion, and strategic branding, it has built a model where influence itself becomes a monetizable asset. And in the broader landscape of Black media empires, BET stands as one of the clearest examples of how culture and commerce intersect at scale. Number 4. Revolt. While traditional media giants were building their fortunes through cable television and radio, Revolt chose a different path. Founded by the popular Sean Diddy Combs, Revolt entered the media territory with so much focus on music, culture, and the next generation of audiences with first-hand digital experiences. Revolt didn't try to compete with established television networks. Instead, it positioned itself as a platform designed for a generation that engages content across several screens. Right from the start, Revolt understood that a major shift was happening in the media. Younger audiences didn't fancy watching traditional television, but spent more time on social media, streaming platforms, and digital content. And instead of resisting that change, they built their business around it. One of the company's basic revenue streams is advertising. Like most media businesses, brands pay to get their advertisements in front of its audience. But this isn't the case for Revolt. Its value comes from its ability to reach younger viewers who are often difficult to access through traditional television. This makes its audience particularly drawn to advertisers that are looking to connect with trends, music culture, and emerging consumer groups. Another major source of income for Revolt comes from branded content and corporate partnerships. Instead of depending solely on traditional commercials, Revolt often collaborates with major companies to create sponsored interviews, special programs, event coverage, and original content. These partnerships often generate substantial revenue because brands are willing to pay higher fees to integrate directly into content that audiences are already engaged with. Digital distribution also plays a major role in Revolt's business model. Its content reaches viewers through television, websites, social media platforms, video sharing channels, and streaming services. This multi-platform strategy allows the company to monetize content in several ways at once, from digital advertising to licensing agreements and platform partnerships. A single interview or cultural discussion can generate value across multiple channels long after its initial release. Live events have also become another major part of the Revolt community. Events centered around music, entrepreneurship, and culture create opportunities for sponsorships, ticket sales, and brand activations. These gatherings don't just generate revenue, they strengthen Revolt's identity as a cultural hub, which makes the brand more valuable to both audiences and advertisers. One of the company's biggest strengths is its ability to take advantage of trending conversations. Whether it's about music, business, sports, or social issues, Revolt focuses on content that brings engagements and discussions. In today's attention-seeking economy, engagement often translates directly into revenue because higher audience engagement increases advertising value and partnership opportunities. Unlike some local media companies that depend heavily on cable subscriptions, Revolt has built a more diversified model around digital engagement and cultural influence. Its success shows how modern media businesses can generate income without relying solely on popular broadcasting structures. Ultimately, Revolt's business strategy is built on understanding where audiences are going rather than where they have been. By combining digital distribution, advertising, branded partnerships, and live experiences, the company has transformed cultural relevance into a profitable media enterprise. And as audience habits continue to evolve, that ability to adapt may prove to be one of its most valuable assets. Number 5. Oprah Winfrey Network. Only a few people in the media have successfully transformed personal influence into business success as effectively as Oprah Winfrey. While millions recognize her as a television host, the real story is how she turned a media career into an empire that continues to generate revenue long after individual shows have aired. At the center of that empire is the Oprah Winfrey Network, better known as OWN. Unlike many television networks that are built around a variety of unrelated programming, OWN was built around a powerful brand. Oprah spent years earning the trust of her audiences, and when she launched her own network, she brought that audience loyalty with her. That trust became one of the network's most valuable assets, attracting viewers, advertisers, and business partners alike. More like most television networks, OWN generates significant revenue through advertising. Brands are willing to pay higher rates to advertise during programs that attract loyal and engaged audiences. Because Oprah's brand, for long, has been associated with personal growth, inspiration, health, and lifestyle content, the network attracts advertisers eager to connect with those viewers. Another major source of revenue comes from carriage fees. Cable and satellite providers pay to carry the network as part of their channel subscriptions, which helps to create a revenue stream that keeps coming, whether viewers watch a particular show or not. While audiences have increasingly moved towards streaming services, carriage fees have historically provided a stable financial foundation for networks like OWN. Another important piece of the business is original programming. For many years, OWN has invested in talk shows, documentaries, scripted series, and reality programming that showcases its brand identity. Successful programs can generate additional income through licensing deals, reruns, and distribution agreements with other platforms. In media, a strong part of content can continue producing revenue long after its original release, making intellectual property one of the industry's most valuable assets. Partnerships have also played a major role in OWN's growth. By collaborating with production companies, creators, and corporate partners, the network expands its content offerings while sharing costs and risks. These relationships have helped to keep programming fresh while creating additional opportunities for sponsorship and advertising revenue. Beyond the network itself, Oprah's wider business ecosystem helps to strengthen OWN's value. Her books, magazine ventures, speaking engagements, production projects, and brand partnerships all contribute to an interconnected media machine. Each success reinforces the others, creating a cycle in which visibility drives revenue, and revenue creates more opportunities for visibility. One of the reasons OWN has remained influential is that it does not simply sell entertainment, it sells trust. Audiences most of the time develop strong emotional connections with the stories, personalities, and themes featured on the network. For advertisers and partners, that trust is incredibly valuable because it creates a much deeper level of engagement than local advertising alone can provide. Ultimately, the Oprah Winfrey Network demonstrates how personal branding can evolve into a powerful business model. Through advertising, carriage fees, content licensing, strategic partnerships, and the strength of Oprah's reputation, OWN has become far more than a television network. It is a reminder that in the media, influence can be just as valuable as infrastructure when it is built carefully and leveraged effectively. Number 6. Tyler Perry Studios. Most media companies earn their money by sharing content created by others, but Tyler Perry built his empire by taking ownership of the content, the production process, and the studio where everything happens. That approach has turned Tyler Perry Studios into one of the most successful Black-owned entertainment businesses in the world. The story begins with Tyler Perry being the center of focus. Before becoming a media mogul, he was a playwright and storyteller who built a loyal audience through onstage productions. As his popularity grew, he moved into films and television, creating a catalog of content that would eventually become the foundation of a massive entertainment empire. Unlike many creators who license their ideas to major studios, Perry was focused on maintaining ownership of his work whenever possible. That decision would prove to be one of the smartest business moves of his career. One of the biggest ways through which Tyler Perry Studios makes money is the production of content. The studio itself produces television series, films, and specials that are distributed through major networks and streaming platforms. Whenever one of these projects is licensed, sold, or distributed, the studio earns revenue. This is because Perry owns a large portion of his intellectual property, making him benefit from the long-term value of his content rather than receiving a one-time payment. Streaming has also become another major source of income. As platforms compete for exclusive content, Tyler Perry Studios is in a strong position to negotiate lucrative deals. Streaming services are always looking for proven creators with loyal audiences, and Perry's productions consistently attract viewers. This gives the studio significant leverage when negotiating distribution agreements. Another powerful revenue stream comes from the studio facility itself. Tyler Perry Studios sits on one of the largest film production campuses in the United States. The massive property includes sound stages, production facilities, backlots, and filming locations that can be rented to outside productions. This means the studio can generate income even from projects that Tyler Perry is not directly involved in creating. The company also benefits from the value of its extensive content library. Every television episode, film, and special produced over the years represents intellectual property that can continue generating income through licensing, collaborations, and streaming. In the entertainment industry, owning a large content catalog is more like owning real estate. The asset can continue producing revenue for years or even decades. What makes Tyler Perry Studios particularly stand out is its level of vertical integration. Instead of relying solely on external partners for every stage of production, the company controls much of the creative and production process internally. This helps to reduce cost, multiply efficiency, and allow the business to capture a larger share of the profits generated by each project. The studio's success also shows the financial power of audience loyalty. Tyler Perry spent years building a loyal fan base that consistently supports his work. That loyalty reduces uncertainty for distributors and advertisers because they know there is an established audience waiting for new content. In business terms, that kind of predictability is highly valuable. This makes Tyler Perry Studios more than a film and television company. It is a business built on ownership. By controlling intellectual property, production facilities, and content distribution opportunities, Tyler Perry has created several streams of income that reinforce one another. His empire shows that in the media, creating content can be profitable, but owning the entire process can be even more powerful. Number 7. Essence Ventures. And finally, on how the biggest Black media empires make their money. Before social media influencers and digital media startups took over the conversation, Essence had already established itself as one of the most recognizable brands in Black media. Founded by Richelieu Dennis, Essence began as a magazine focused on the experiences, achievements, and lifestyles of Black women, and eventually grew into a powerful media business with its influence extending far beyond what's expected. Today, under Essence Ventures, the brand has transformed into a multi-platform enterprise generating revenue through media, events, partnerships, and digital engagement. And at the heart of the company's business model is its ability to serve a highly defined and loyal audience. For many years, Essence has built trust with Black women by creating content that speaks directly to their interests, aspirations, and experiences. That trust has become one of the company's most valuable assets. This has helped attract advertisers eager to reach an audience that is both influential and highly engaged. Advertising has long been a powerful source of revenue. In its magazine days, brands paid higher rates to appear alongside content that resonated with Essence readers. As the company expanded into digital media, those advertising opportunities extended to websites, newsletters, videos, podcasts, and social media platforms. This allowed the company to continue monetizing audience attention even as media consumption habits shifted online. However, one of the biggest financial engines behind Essence Ventures is events. The annual Essence Festival has become one of the largest cultural gatherings in the United States, attracting hundreds of thousands of attendees and generating enormous economic activity. Through ticket sales, sponsorship deals, vendor partnerships, advertising packages, and corporate activations, the festival produces significant revenue while strengthening the Essence brand. Corporate partnerships also play a critical role in the company's success. Major brands regularly collaborate with Essence on marketing campaigns, sponsored content, leadership initiatives, and community-focused programs. These partnerships allow companies to connect authentically with Essence's audience while providing the media company with another important stream of income. Digital media has become increasingly important as well. Through its website, video content, social platforms, and online publications, Essence continues to reach millions of people beyond the traditional magazine format. This digital expansion has opened the door to new advertising opportunities, branded content campaigns, and audience engagement strategies that help keep the brand relevant in an increasingly competitive media environment. Another factor contributing to Essence Ventures' success is brand equity. Unlike many media outlets that focus solely on content production, Essence has built a brand that carries significant cultural value. That reputation allows the company to extend into new business areas, attract premium sponsors, and maintain strong relationships with both audiences and corporate partners. What makes Essence Ventures particularly interesting is how it has evolved from a single publication into a broader business ecosystem. The company no longer depends on magazine sales alone. Instead, it operates across multiple channels, each contributing to a diversified revenue structure that reduces dependence on any single source of income. Ultimately, Essence Ventures demonstrates the power of combining media, culture, and community into a sustainable business model. Through advertising, digital content, strategic partnerships, and one of the most influential cultural festivals in America, the company has transformed audience trust into a lasting and profitable media empire. And like many of the most successful businesses in this space, its greatest asset isn't just its content. It's the community that continues to support it. These black media empires have proven that the biggest money isn't always in the content, it's in ownership. From TV networks to digital platforms and production studios, they have turned influence into lasting wealth. Which media empire surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe to Black Status, and hit the notification bell for more business deep dives.